If you're watching this right now, you are about to be so blessed because this is confirmation that 2026 is going to be unlike anything you've ever seen. You are truly ascending in 2026. So I'm so excited to talk about this. I know it's a little early if you're watching this when this video comes out. I can't contain my excitement because I am so looking forward to 2026 because I feel in my spirit that it's a really exciting year. Like, it's going to be incredible for so many people. So I just want to give you an overview of what to expect, to give you a sneak peek so that you can be ahead of the game and just get excited about what 2026 has in store for you. The energy I'm picking up on, the divine downloads, they've all been so promising. So let's get to it. So this is the year where purpose becomes very clear, where we move from having to do a job that is soul sucking in order to pay the bills and barely make ends meet to moving into what we were actually supposed to be doing. Very purposeful, intentional living, very disciplined, wanting to live in more alignment with our passions, our goals, our values, the identity we want to become. And this is where we lock into that identity, where we are liberated from past paradigms of scarcity, lack, feeling really rooted in sovereignty and growth, knowing that you are not a victim and that you are a divine child of God. So therefore you are like royalty. And I see you really stepping into this in 2026. And this is where paradigms are going to shift. We're already seeing that in the last few years, but it's really ramping up where these paradigms that have been in place intended to keep us trapped for, centuries are starting to crumble at this point. People are realizing that they can live a life where they could pursue their passions and get paid for it, and that certain things aren't reserved for certain people, that people can attain wealth in this lifetime, and that it doesn't take like hard work or physical labor anymore, or even selling your souls or doing things you really don't want to. We have the ability to choose, and I think people are starting to see through that. So that's what's giving away at this time. And so we're starting to accumulate this sense of hope, and especially in the divine, into something bigger than us, and also being led and called by this higher purpose is what's really activating within us in 2026. So this is where these visions that you've had for a long time about your future, your dreams, are going to activate. And so this is where divine assignments begin to unfold, the things that your soul came here to do, the things God has intended for you before you were even born. And this is where your spiritual gifts are really going to shine, where you're really going to tap into that wisdom, that clarity that comes from within because of that purposeful living, that intentional living that's only in alignment with who you want to be. So this is where cycles of confusion end. This is where cycles that have served their purpose become obsolete at this point. They no longer serve that purpose, and they're more harmful than they are beneficial. And so these things are coming to an end to make way for new ways of being. So if everything feels chaotic now, just know that it's going to restore order in 2026, and it's going to be better than it was ever before. So this is where alignment becomes non-negotiable, because you're not able to access that old programming anymore. It's like a TV where eventually, after a certain amount of time, you're just unable to access like apps on it, or it becomes wonky because the updates aren't available for it anymore. It's almost like that. So this is a year where you have to ask yourself, like, are you willing to walk the path that you prayed for? Because it's going to come with dedication. It's going to come with responsibility, pressure, and it's going to take a lot of strength and perseverance and resilience to go after. And knowing that you have God on your side is helpful. So I really hope that you tap into that source of empowerment, and also even just energy, anything that you lack. Like if you are burnt out or exhausted easily, this is where things become easier for you, or you live a life that is more flexible and more oriented to your capabilities and your energy levels. So this is where you get to deepen your relationship with yourself and the life that you cultivate from within and living in that identity. Because if you have a job that's fast paced, but you're more of like a cozy, slow, oriented person, then you know that you're misaligned. So this is about moving into that alignment, that purpose that God has for you in accordance with his word and what he lays out for us. So the first wave of energy is like a quarter from January until April. So this first quarter brings immediate realignments where that fresh energy is really prominent and begs us to live in alignment with our intentions and that purposeful living and just honoring that new aspect, the new identity. So this is where the universe gently or even forcefully removes anything that would sabotage your next level. So you may experience sudden clarity, sudden endings, sudden shifts in purpose, rapid emotional upgrades, divine redirection, closed doors that were draining you, inner healing surfacing after completion. This is not punishment, it is protection, it is preparation. And 2026 begins by making sure you are not carrying the wrong energy into the right destiny, that you are leaving everything in the past and starting fresh from a clean slate, actually from all the experience that you had up until this point, because that is all part of your preparation. And then we move into April, which is the second energy wave, and this lasts until July. And this is the rise of your higher self. This is the period of identity rebirth. This is that window. It also coincides with the seasons. The more we grow closer to God and to our higher selves, the more we resynchronize ourselves to the cycles of nature, which include like the seasons. And so April to July is where everything begins to blossom. So this period is the identity rebirth window. Your higher self becomes impossible to ignore. You feel really invigorated, very activated, and your spiritual gifts are going to sharpen. Your intuition becomes louder and more accurate, and your confidence begins to catch up to your calling, where everything really starts to integrate. So at this point, I want you to expect heightened intuitive downloads, prophetic dreams, unexplainable clarity, immediate manifestations, increased synchronicities, purpose-aligned opportunities, and identity elevation, like a massive upgrade in lifestyle, a massive upgrade in thinking, a massive upgrade in being. Like, it's really building momentum by this point. So you will feel yourself stepping into a larger, more powerful version of yourself. This is where your timeline truly shifts and you really embody that identity. And then you move into July, the third wave, which lasts until September. And this is where the financial benefits start to come in. This is the financial elevation window. And 2026 brings one of the strongest wealth portals in recent years, not through lucky breaks, but through aligned calling, visibility, and embodiment of worthiness, knowing that you have a divine inheritance as a child of God that is owed to you regardless of how you feel about yourself, regardless of circumstance, of your achievements or your progress or even your obedience. And whether you are sinful or not, this is a matter of this is owed to you regardless, because you were worthy no matter what. You don't need to perform. You are already perfect as you are. So when you embody that worthiness, knowing that everything you desire is yours and you are allowed to have it and it's not selfish to do so, you are now empowering yourself. So this is where you're going to have wealth breakthroughs and new income streams coming in, because you won't be blocking abundance anymore because you don't feel worthy of it. So unexpected opportunities will come up, higher level networking will start to come into play, purpose-driven expansion, financial stability, soul-led business growth. This is where people are really stepping into their purpose and their power in 2026 and their God-led vision. So this is, if you have been feeling called to build something or to do something or to follow a creative pursuit, this is where God is telling you it's time to do it, because he is supporting you, he is helping you. And if you've been waiting for clarity, this is the sign that you've been waiting for. This is the absolute confirmation that it is time to share your gifts with the world and to step into your power. So if you've been healing money wounds, this is where your financial frequency upgrades, where you receive your divine inheritance because you're living your purpose and everything is just a byproduct of that. So then we're going to go into the the fourth quarter, where September to December really wraps up everything that you've gone through in 2026. This is your legacy, your leadership, and your long-term vision. This is the final quarter. This is where you go hard and you really lock in, so that what you've been building during this period is going to have long-lasting impact. It's going to set the tone for the next 10 years, because this brand new era is a 10-year cycle, and it is going to be magnificent. This is the season where leaders emerge and where being small is no longer an option. So I want you to expect at this time stronger boundaries, clearer purpose direction, a desire for long-term stability, bigger callings, mentorship opportunities, deepened spiritual authority, breakthroughs in visibility or community, like explosive growth on social media, and higher levels of discipline, like you're really mastering your body, your mind, and your spirit. And you will feel the pull to step into a role that influences, guides, or serves others. You are here to serve. You are here to serve a purpose, and you are here to be a leader of the new earth. So this is destiny work. So the core themes of 2026 are about that emerging, that foundation that was built, is where you start to build your empire on, and where you begin to build structure around your destiny. So your habits, your boundaries, your routines and values become the scaffolding of this empire that you're going to build. And then leads us into the second theme, which is embodied alignment. No more talking about alignment, but actually living it, doing the things you want to do, showing up how you want to show up, the actions that must be taken that follow your calling. And when you take those actions, this is when you activate your higher calling, where more people step into their divine assignment. Now more than ever, there's this massive spiritual awakening that's happening in 2026. So this is where people will honor their spiritual gifts, and it'll help them manifest with ease and purpose and intention. And this is soul-led work, where you are putting God at the center and just following that higher path. So this calling becomes impossible to ignore the more you tap into your spirituality. And then wealth comes as a byproduct of the purpose that you're living, where money flows, where alignment flows. So 2026 rewards that spiritual integrity and God-aligned ambition. And then we have identity refinement, where you will shed the last remnants of versions that could not hold your next level. You were leaving them in the past. They cannot come with you, much like you can't bring anything with you when you die. It's the same way. And who you are becoming is going to take center stage at this point. So everything is now being left behind that no longer serves you. So this is where you are going to enter like prophetic living, where this is your purpose that God is giving you, and it has been assigned to you since the dawn of man, since eternity. And your intuitive gifts are going to heighten very dramatically at this time, because your intuition is your direct link to God. And this is where dreams become messages and signs become instructions, and you seek God in everything, in every aspect of your life, in every part of creation, and that everything you do has meaning, because you are here to create. So you will hear and see and know more clearly just by tapping into this purposeful living. And then that leads into divine discipline, where 2026 teaches that discipline is not restriction, it is devotion to yourself and God and the life that you want to live. And you can no longer get away with misaligned choices that are going to hurt more than they will benefit you. So you need stabilization before expansion. And that's why the beginning of 2026 is important, that you do that identity work. The universe will stabilize your foundation so you can expand from there without collapse, without your nervous system getting burnt out or fried. So this is spiritual maturity that will help you heal because you won't get carried away or burnt out. Everything in the 2026 is about balance and ease and harmony, and this is what is happening for you. And life isn't going to happen to you any longer. What 2026 asks of you is for you to allow it to help you, for you to be more open and receptive and less attached. So the energy 2026 is very supportive, but it is also very commanding. And it asks you to commit to your alignment, trust divine timing, embody your identity, strengthen your boundaries, honor your calling, show up consistently, and stop abandoning yourself. Walk with spiritual authority and build the life that you're meant to live, that God has intended for you to live. So 2026 will reward those who show up as they are meant to be. So this is the final word I have to say for 2026. You are entering a year where the seeds you planted are coming into form, where clarity replaces confusion, where purpose becomes direction, where your identity matches your destiny, and where God aligns your path with precision and order. This year is not about breakthrough alone. It is about becoming the vessel that can hold the blessings and then multiply them. It takes intense responsibility and intense pressure to handle the blessings that are about to come into your life because they are massive. So you need to be dedicated to your growth and your capacity to learn and be disciplined and to master yourself. So 2026 is the year you step into leadership and legacy and alignment with your highest purpose, the purpose God has given you. So you're not just preparing for a new year, you're preparing for a brand new era, a brand new 10-year cycle. So this is what I have for you for 2026. This is just a snippet of everything that's in store. So if you want to claim this message, say 2026 is mine, claim it right now, because 2026 is going to be absolutely amazing for you, especially if you go in with the intention of it making your best year ever. And I know that it can be and it will be. So if this was helpful or if it resonated, let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. Let's make 2026 amazing for all of us. And let's just support one another and celebrate everyone and lift each other up, because there's enough to go around. So like this video, subscribe, follow for more if you haven't. Send this to your friends to spread the blessings, to let them know what 2026 has in store for them as well. If you want to support this channel, there's some options linked in the description as well as the pinned comment. I love you so much, but God loves you more, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Before you click away, I want to invite you into something special. It has never been easier to reconnect with God outside of religion, and inside the temple within, you could do so straight from your phone with the school app. Instead of doom scrolling, you could spend that same amount of time with God, building an everlasting relationship with Him, learning to hear His voice, and cultivating new habits rooted in God-centered obedience without the weight of religious dogma. Inside the temple within, you'll find guided teachings to help you connect with God in your daily life, a faith-based framework to build God-centered habits, resources and reflections to help you understand Scripture and Spirit, and a community of like-minded people walking the same righteous path, and so much more. It's super easy to join, and right now it's only $5 a month, but this price won't last forever. So make sure you hit the link in the description box and you step into the temple within today. Don't wait to build the life God has been calling you into.